back to Critical Flick. Today we're going to be talking about our top 5 fave films of 2017. So let's get started.
Alright guys, so we're going to go 5 through 2 each of us, and then we'll each name our top movie of the year. So let's get it started.
First we're going to talk about one honorable mention of each. My honorable mention is going to be Wind River. I really enjoyed this film. It has a great story, and Jeremy Renner has never acted any better. My number 5 is going to be Wonder Woman. What can I say besides Gal Gadot kicking butt as Wonder Woman, and also the No Man's Land scene is amazing. My number 4 is going to be The Disaster Artist. James Franco portrays Tommy Wiseau perfectly. This movie is so funny. If you have seen The Room or have not seen The Room, you would enjoy it. My number 3 is going to be Beauty and the Beast. It came out earlier this year. One word comes to mind is magical. Dan Stevens as the Beast and Emma Watson as Belle. Pure magic in a film. Lady Bird is number 2. It is one of the most relatable films I have seen to date. It's by the studio A24, which I love and then semi-hate, but the main actress is pretty amazing.
We believe her name is Saoirse Ronan. If we pronounced it wrong, I'm sure we'll hear about it in the comments, or... yeah, you guys know who we mean.
Alright guys, so I saw a lot of movies this year, so it was really hard to narrow it down. There's some really good movies that came out. But I have to say, my honorable mention will be The Disaster Artist. Like she said, it is probably the best performance we've seen from James Franco. And using such a interesting and kind of like niche source material, they made a great film out of it. My number 5 is an A24 movie. Everyone knows I love A24. It Comes at Night. I think it was so mysterious and like strange, and I know a lot of people were kind of off-put by it and they kind of were expecting something else, but I think it was a great thriller / horror. My number 4 is another A24 movie, if you haven't noticed a trend here. It's Lady Bird. It was so good. I can't believe that it took me so long to see it. Everyone said it was so great, and her performance was so relatable, the story's so relatable, so down to earth. Probably the best coming-of-age movie I've ever seen. My number 3 is Blade Runner. This movie has to be one of, if not the most beautifully shot film I have ever seen in my whole life. While it was a long movie, I kept me in that amazing world, and I'm in love with this film. And my number 2 is Dunkirk. It is Christopher Nolan's masterpiece. I think it's the movie he was made to create, and if he doesn't get Best Director for this movie, I'm just done with the Oscars.
I was done with the Oscars when La La Land didn't win. Alright, so my honorable mention is actually the Lego Batman movie. So I rewatched this movie numerous times since I bought it on Blu-ray and saw it in theater, and it's just so fun. Will Arnett as Batman is funny. The music in it is funny. I love the story. I think you actually delve into the character of Batman, and it just works for me on so many levels. Really fun movie. Definitely my honorable mention. Number 5 is War for the Planet of the Apes. Wow, there was no actual war in the movie. I think this movie is excellent. Definitely my favorite Planet of the Apes movie of all time. I love the score. I love the story. I love the subtlety and Andy Serkis' performance as Caesar, and it just works really well. My number 4 is Wonder Woman. This is a fantastic DC Comics movie. This is what I want out of DC films. The other movies that have come out, I'm not a fan of. I'm not going to lie. Other than the Dark Knight trilogy, Wonder Woman really brought it. The characters are great, and Chris Pine and Gal Gadot played their characters wonderfully, and they worked off each other so well. Fantastic movie. Number 3 is going to be Thor Ragnarok. What a fun movie. I was laughing and grinning throughout this movie. It's so funny. Thor, Hulk, Jeff Goldblum's character, I was laughing, grinning ear to ear. I loved it. The action's fun. It looks good, and great movie. I really liked it. Probably the most fun Marvel movie I've ever seen. And number 2, which is going to be very surprising to people, which is why you probably shouldn't go into movies with expectations, because my number 2 is actually Dunkirk. So I bought this movie on Blu-ray, of course, because you guys know I love Christopher Nolan as a director. I think he's the best out there, or of all time as well. But Dunkirk is a masterpiece. My expectations for what the film was, it altered my opinion when I saw it. Now that I've seen it on Blu-ray, it's incredible. I mean, the battle scenes, how it really puts you in the as you know, the characters and the soldiers. You really feel like you're on the beaches there, and it is a masterpiece. Like Brian said, it's a great movie. I think technically it's Nolan's best film, and I hope it wins Best Picture, and he should win Best Director, of course, as well.
Yeah.
All right, now on to our number 1 movie for 2017. Drum roll. My number one movie, of course, everyone should know it, Coco. Coco is a phenomenal animated film. It's one of the best films I've ever seen. I love it. I've just actually saw it again in theater. It's amazing. The music I actually liked and appreciated a lot more this second time, and I actually think it has a phenomenal music, and the characters relatable. I love it. The colors, everything about it. See it. Best movie of the year.
Well, was their number 2 is my number 1, Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan knocks it out of the park. Once again, the cinematography is stunning in this film. It's probably one of the best war films as well. Not character-wise, where that was where it was lacking, but overall the film and how it was shot, it's just so beautiful, and he should definitely win Best Director.
So my number 1 movie naturally has to be an A24 movie, A Ghost Story. This movie is so haunting, and it just made me feel ways that a movie has never made me feel. It made me question my existence. It made me question so many things about life and time, and I think at the end of the day, that's what I want from movies. While I do want to have a fun time, I want to experience something. I want to get a reaction out of these films. And I don't think I've ever seen a movie where I left the theater and I was so conflicted about so many things. And I think that is one of the things that people struggled with seeing this film, but at the end of the day, I think what he accomplished in such a simplistic way is so amazing, and I think it's just a remarkable movie.
That pie scene, though.
So that rounds up our top 5 of 2017. Let us know down in the comments what your top 5 fave films of the year was. And do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Again, let us know. Remember to like and subscribe. We always appreciate your support. And thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.